I had one question, and that was, why is the Bemba chief carried around in a crocodile? This is because during the traditional ceremony of the Bemba-speaking people of Zambia, the paramount chief, known as Chitimukulu, is literally seated in a replica crocodile which is carried on the shoulders of men during the annual festivity known as Ukusefya Pangwena. Contrary to the direct English translation of these words, this ceremony is not the celebration of the crocodile. So what is it then? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you what I found regarding what those words really mean, why they even exist in the first place, and why a ceremony takes place putting the Chitimukulu and the crocodile at center stage. My name is Mwansakunda Tembo, and this is I Stand with Zambia. With 73 tribes, Zambia Statistics Agency in 2022 put the population at roughly 19.5 million. Now, by now, this figure should be well over 20 million. The Bemba-speaking people, as well as those with languages closely related to Bemba, make up the largest demographic as seen on the map in yellow. Every year in the month of August, the Bemba people reenact the journey that began in the 1500s, which brought what is today known as the Bemba Kingdom from one part of Africa to the other, bringing them precisely to the Mungwi district in Kasama, Northern Province. The year is 1484, and King Mwene Congo Nkulu is reigning as the fifth ruler of the Congo dynasty. This dynasty rules the Congo Kingdom, which covers present-day Angola, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Congo-Brazzaville. The words Mwene Congo or Mani Congo are a royal title meaning owner of the Congo Kingdom. In the southwest part of the Congo Kingdom, towards modern-day Angola, in a place called Mbanza Congo, Nkui Mwene Congo's son is a chief there, and his name is Nshinga. Nshinga dies around the year 1507 and is succeeded by his son Mbemba. Mbemba is known as Mbemba Zinga, which means Mbemba, son of Nzinga. Even though Mbemba was baptized by the Portuguese into the Catholic religion and given the name Alfonso, he is known to have raised concern over the Portuguese imperialistic advances, which were conflicting with the Congo culture. Mbemba is credited for expanding the Congo Kingdom through conquest. A descendant of Mbemba named Mukulumpe moves away from this part of the kingdom and he's heading north. The name Mukulumpe means the great forever or just the great. Now, there is some disagreement among the Abaluba who say that the actual name Mukulumpe is not a name at all, but it's a title. Now, I have to say, I have chosen to refer to Mukulumpe as a person as we continue with this documentary. So, Mukulumpe, for whatever reason, is heading north. And before he and the group leave, they will pass by the local Catholic church and take 4 statues. They called these statues insalamu. The statues they took were 3 male statues and 3 female statues. And the female statue they took was holding a child. It is said that these statues, which are well over 600 years old, can still be found in the Chitimukulu Palace today. The names of the 3 insalamu are Chitimuluba, Kanavesa, and Kabemba. The descendants of Mubemba, led by Mukulumpe, find the land established by the Luba-speaking people. Mukulumpe's group become an integral part of the Luba Kingdom, even learning the Luba language. And this area is very much in present-day Democratic Republic of Congo. Whilst they were Kubaluba, Imfumu Mukulumpe, the chief Mukulumpe, marries a woman named Mumbi Mukasa Lulu, who is said to have pointed to the sky when asked where she came from. She also stated that she was from the Ngandu clan. Ngandu means crocodile, so she was saying that she is from the crocodile clan. The name Mumbi itself is traced to the Kikuyu people in modern-day Kenya, and if you look closely, you'll see that they have very large ears due to the rings that they put in their ears. And when they described Mumbi, they say she was a woman with ears as big as an elephant. And it could very well have been as a result of the Kikuyu tribal identity, this feature. She also said her name was Mukasa, and the name Mukasa is traced to the Baganda in modern-day Uganda. She also said that her name was Lulu and that she came from the Ngandu clan. When the Congo Kingdom was eventually destroyed by the colonizers, they divided the kingdom into 6 provinces. And today, the Democratic Republic of Congo has a total of 21 provinces. But when it was 6 provinces, there were 2 provinces in particular, one called the Oriental and the other one called the Equatorial. Within this area, a people called the Ngandu resided. Today, that area is known as the Tishopo province, and the Ngandu people exist. Regarding the name Liulu, there is a tribe in the Kasai Occidental province of the Democratic Republic of Congo known as the Lulua. There could be a connection with the name Lulu and the name Lulua, especially because the Lulua people are believed to be ethnically Luba people outside of the Baluba political structure. The style of music that comes from the Kasai region is known as mutwash, and the dance and the music was made famous globally by the late Shalamwana. So Mumbi and Mukulumpe have 3 sons, and their names are Katongo, Inkole, and Chiti. They also have a daughter, and her name is Chilufya Mlenga. Through her children, Mumbi's Ngandu clan will play a major role in determining the location and the establishment of the Bemba Kingdom. As the children grew up, the sons were each given a section of the kingdom to rule over from their father, Mukulumpe. However, the sons became somewhat arrogant and rude towards their father. Consequently, out of anger, Mukulumpe plucks out the eyes of his oldest son, Katongo. At this, Chiti and Nkole run away, but they were later encouraged to come back and reconcile with their father. However, the advisors of Mukulumpe told him that his sons would be his ultimate downfall and he should get rid of them, and that when they come, they should come at night. This is because they had planned to dig out punji traps. The punji trap is a booby trap that was widely used in the Congo Kingdom. It is made out of spears that are set in a hole, and the hole is camouflaged to look like the surrounding ground. It's activated by stepping on it, resulting in the death of its victim, who falls in and is pierced. Katongo, who had his eyes gouged out, was banished to live in the outskirts of the village, near the gate. In Bemba, this sort of gate is known as Pampongolo. So when Katongo finds out about this scheme to kill his brothers, he sits at the gate and plays a drum. This particular drum is called umondo, and the song that he sings takes the form of a riddle.
Nkole wa mapembwe shumfu omulandu kitiki kyamutunga mulinso kyamulengero mono okupompa kwenda kushintuka menso mumbali panshapa pali mikuba ya tate emyanda.
A warning to his brothers of the imminent danger, and the words can be loosely translated as the following.
Nkole, the most exiled or most wanted. Please hear the plan. The stick has pricked his eyes and caused him to suffer a lot, more especially the blick or cut on the nose. As you come, be careful and watch out, because along the way are traps in hundreds planted by my father.
Whilst the photo shows wooden spears, the spears that would have been used by these people would have been spears made out of copper, and they were in their thousands. This is why Katongo said,
Pali mikuba ya tate emyanda.
So the brothers look around and see that there is indeed some areas in the ground that are not leveled. They manage to circumvent these traps, head into the village, and make peace with their father. Later on, the story goes on to say that Mukulumpe and Mumbi would divorce. And around the year 1650, it has become clear that Chiti and Nkole would not be able to live in the same space with their father, and they inform him that they will be leaving. This time, Mukulumpe pronounces a blessing over his sons for their journey of life ahead. Chiti and Nkole would head east, and this movement is significant because it is from this breakaway group that we would later have Bemba. They traveled, and they traveled until they got to the bank of the Luapula River. Crossing it was a bit of a challenge, and Nkole had some anxiety. On the other hand, Chiti, when he gets across, he plunges his spear into an impundu tree and begins to exalt himself, saying all manner of things. And of all the things that he said, we're going to look at two things only. And these two things are the following.
Nine ntalasha matanda, nine Mukulumpe, uwa mwene ubwikalo.
In translating the words in Talasha Matanda, I need to break down what the word Matanda means. So Matanda comes from the word Ubutanda or Impasa, and this is a wooden mat. Historically and occasionally to this day, the Bembas will use this to bury their dead. This was widely seen in the images and videos of the funeral of Zambia's first vice president, Simon Mwansa Kapwepwe, who was a Bemba buried in the traditional Bemba way. So, Intalasha Matanda is a person who defeats death and does not fear death. And that's what Chiti was saying. Nine Intalasha Matanda. Now, when he says Nine Munkulumpe wa mweno bwikalo, he's basically saying, I'm the older person who has established our livelihood. So, with this, Nkole, who was the older brother, steps back in leadership and Chiti becomes the leader. The title, Chitimukulu, comes from the fact that Chiti became the older one, the great one. He became Umukulu, Chiti Mukulu. The actual crossing took place at Kashengeneke Harbor in Chief Nkole's chiefdom near Puerto. They settled at Nkalenge district below Lake Mweru at a place called Isandulula. And Chiti, as leader, named this place Isandulula Fialo, meaning this is the place where we can expand. Today, in addition to having Lake Mweru on its shores, Nkalenge district is known for its fish due to the majority of inhabitants being fishmongers. The district also houses the Mantapala refugee camp.
Mantapala is one of the 3 refugee settlements in Zambia that hosts refugees from the DRC and other countries. So far, the country hosts over 85,000 refugees, former refugees and persons of concern from various countries, with the majority coming from the neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo.
The year is now around 1700, and Chiti sends 4 soldiers to go back and get his sister, Chilufya Mulenga, who remained Kubaluba. She arrives impregnated by one of the soldiers and gives birth to a child named Chilufya. And the Kapaso responsible for her pregnancy is banished from the group. Chiti moves and settles at Kashikanwena, near Lake Bangweulu. The group crossed the Chambeshi River, where they came across land with a lot of rain and a lot of mushrooms. And the story goes on to say that a lady was assigned to gather a certain amount of mushrooms, but decided to get a bit more and hid this from the rest of the group. They found out about what she did because the vessel that she had put the mushrooms on fell down and broke. Chiti told her that because of this act, she would remain in the area. Nonetheless, she would not be banished or cut off from the group forever, but that she would remain closely related to the royal family. And in Bemba, the word for mushroom is woa, and it is here where the Woa clan comes from. They are known as Abenewoa. There are around 30 clans that make up the Bemba-speaking people of Zambia, and here are a few more with their English meaning. Abenango, Abenamfula, Abenambushi, Abeneluo, Abenansofu, abena mbeva, abena nsoka, abena bumba nongo, abene bwali. Now remember, of these clans, the Ngandu clan are the royal family clan. The journey continues on, and Chiti's group crossed into the Lala Kingdom, where Kankomba was made the chief of the Lala people, and they called him Kakombowelala. Chiti moves again, passing into what is today referred to as the Eastern Province, where they would arrive in a land inhabited by the Nsenga people. Chief Mwase's kingdom welcomed Chiti. During their stay, Chief Mwase would from time to time send his wife Chilumbulu to take things over to Chiti. Over time, Chiti desired Chilumbi for himself and told her that she would be his wife. Upon hearing this, Chief Mwase goes to confront Chiti to get his wife back. A fight breaks out between Chiti and Mwase, with Mwase killing Chiti, it is said, with a poison-tipped weapon. At this, Nkole would take over as leader, and he leaves this land moving toward the Soli Kingdom with Chiti's body embalmed in cowpeas, which is known in Bemba as ilanda, and covered in banana leaves. The reason why they used cowpeas on the dead body is explained in the following clip, taken from a documentary done by Patience Chisanga.
Kwitasha took us in and we got to see how they preserve the body. They use cowpeas and cassava to preserve the body. That is before they take it to its final resting place. It is an amazing experience, a very interesting tradition that has stood the test of time.
Yadi nenga batuletele mfumu te muliro iyo ilanda lyali nelo tubalira pokwitira ku mubiri wa mfumu filafine mumona nangu fyo wakira lyelanda lyamwetikira efyo lyakwata nalyo kutinta menshi ku mubiri wa mfumu pamono obunga bwatute filafine mumona bwabanga gulu efyo bwakwata namaka ya kutinta omubiri wa mfumu kumika te muliro tubonfya yo efyo tubonfya efyo.
So Nkole's group carry the embalmed body of Chiti all the way to the Katongo River, where they would rest and mourn him. The Katongo River and the Soli Kingdom are located in part of what is known today as Lusaka Province. After a while, Nkole seeks revenge for Chiti's death and goes back to the Nsenga land, killing Chief Mwase, his wife Chilumbulu, and many Nsenga people. Mwase's body was chopped up into small pieces, which they placed in a clay pot known as umutondo. They remove part of Chilumbulu's skin and also store it in a container, which was used for witchcraft to give the Bemba warriors strength and courage. They would also later create a war charm that was used to direct them in the location of the enemy. This practice has since been discontinued. They crossed the Chambeshi River, heading north to Mulambala. Mulambala is a stream that they named, which meant end of grief. This stream is in modern-day Muchinga province. The Luba custom required that a chief be buried in cow skin And so Nkole sends men out to get cows. And while they did that, he decided to burn the pieces of Chief Mwase's body, which up until that time had still been stored in the Umutondo. As Chief Mwase's body is burning, Nkole is totally overwhelmed and nearly suffocated by the fumes of the burning body, which leaves Nkole weak and sickly. Sometime later, Chiti's body would be buried in Mwalule, together with a living person. This living person was considered to be a living pillow, and they called this person Chitimwape. Nkole eventually died, possibly as a result of inhaling the fumes, and was succeeded by Chilufya, the son of his sister, Chilufya Mlenga. However, Chilufya was too young to rule, and so they put in a caretaker leader until such a time that Chilufya would be old enough. This caretaker leader was Chimba, whom it is said to have been their half-brother, the half-brother of Nkole, Chiti, and Chilufya Mlenga, but not the child of Mumbi, of whom the royal lineage resides. Chief Chimba became a custodian of the instruments of power known as Amata. And under Chief Chimba, they move again. However, before they left, they appointed a senior member of the group to protect the burial place of the chiefs at Mwalule, and these guards are known as Shimwalule. This man is the Shimwalule of the Fungwe-speaking people. His name is Simutumba Simwanza. When they reached the bank of the Milando River, in modern-day Mungwi district, two of the Kapasos, one named Kayai and the other Kabwa, discovered a dead crocodile. And since the Bemba rulers belonged to the crocodile clan, this discovery was significant. It was an omen for the place the Bemba would settle. They named the area Ngwena village, and it became the capital city of Ulubemba, with Chitimukulu being Ulubemba. Here is actual video footage of the Ngwena village, with the Milando River over in the distance beyond the grass. Now, this land that they established as Ngwena village was not vacant when they arrived. It was occupied by tribes such as the Mambwe and the Kalelelia. The Bemba chased these tribes away, and they fled north near Lake Tanganyika. When young Chilufya became of age, Chief Chimba, the custodian, handed over the Amata, the instruments of power, and Chilufya was the first Chitimukulu enthroned at Ngwena. And for some time, Ulubemba was ruled and managed by Chitimukulu. This is why every year the Bemba celebrate at Ngwena village, Ukusefya pa Ngwena, by recreating their migration from the Congo Kingdom to establish Ulubemba in modern-day Mungwi district of Zambia. These people are known as Bembas because they are descendants of Mubemba. Another thing that you will see during the celebration is the presence of the Ngoni warriors of Eastern Province. This is because of a series of Bemba and Ngoni wars that took place around the Ngwena area in the early 19th century. Around the 19th century, when frequent wars erupted between the two formidable warrior ethnic groups, the Bembas had guns obtained by the Arabs, and they used them to penetrate the shields of the Ngonis. The Ngonis, who had an advanced military tactic, were checked and contained by the Bembas' strong military advancement in the possession of guns. These military skirmishes did not produce an outright victor. Therefore, realizing that the opponent were both skilled, the warring parties saw no point in continuing the intertribal hostility. Rather, sought new ways to control the hostility between them to enhance social cohesion. This is believed to have been the birth of the concept of Chimbuya. The social reciprocal Chimbuya between the Bemba and Ngoni speaking people is premised on jokes and power relations. During the ceremony, the Ngoni will lay on the ground, hindering the Chitimukulu entourage from progressing any further into the arena. They will do this until they're given money.
The second, Abangoni Pilamana Valesi Tabare Folupia. The 38th Chitimukuru of the Bemba people. Mugwai from Ulubemba na Chwafeko to Sechepo wa Muchime. Bakose Fwaka wa Mugwai wa Muchime Wasare Munjila. The Ngoni people are welcoming
They will also perform their war dance. During the Ukusefya Pangwena, there is drumming, dancing, traditional food, and drink served. You will also see a live stage play in the middle of the arena telling the story of how the Bembas traveled from the Congo Kingdom, ukufika pangwena, Ulubemba.
Nechirufa amatabiri. Nechimukulu pokiri chibengere. Kayula wanseko, kayula wamilango. Nechimukulu chimpolonge. Nechimukulu msenga. Musungu, muterecha pankwa. Ninekanya ntamanga Ulubemba.
Here are a few images of early Chitimukulus and chiefs that we have photographic record of. creation of Northern Rhodesia in 1911, when the 30th Chitimukulu was reigning, Mtalechikwanda, to present day, the Chitimukulu throne is now more cultural and ceremonial than executive and administrative. However, this has not completely removed the paramount chief's political importance. The current Chitimukulu is Chitimukulu Kanyantamanga, the 38th on the Chitimukulu throne. So now we know why the Bemba chief, Chitimukulu, is carried around in a crocodile. This is I Stand with Zambia. Thank you for watching. Please leave your comment, like the video, share the video, and subscribe.